Raul podcast. Testicles. How y'all doing today?
Oh man.
I mean, no. Here's the. I feel like we have to set the tone from last episode where we ended off on your sweaty ass. So
yeah.
So we gotta match the vibe of what we're ending off on. You feel me?
Yeah. Since I'm a little behind it, I do forget what I just said. So it's fine.
Nah, but welcome back, listeners. Y'all know who it is. It's Roberto and Anthony. I think it's beneath us to smooch on y'all. We a lot more formal about it. You feel me?
I think last time. No, I think
No,
that was it.
Did I kiss them last time? Man, matter of fact, I'll kiss you today. Make up for it, listener. You feel me? All tongue, extra Frenching.
I think that's what you said last time. I you know what? I don't even remember anymore. But I think that's a good thing that we're getting to a point where we can't remember what the fuck we said.
That's fair. I think it's kind of scary because then I feel like at some point Kevin's just gonna hit us up and be like, "Oh, we just rewinding on episodes now. Just have the same episode twice."
I wouldn't put it past us, especially since you need to get on top of your notes, your note game, man. Because I'm actually putting things in my notes. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I did this time, but for the last few episodes, I have been. So.
On a regular basis, I put notes in, but this time I'm calling you out. I don't got nothing to prove. Nah, but I agree. I've been trying to. I have this little notebook that I've been trying to write thoughts into, but every time I write some shit down and come back and reread it, it's just like, oh, it's little bits.
That's the secret politicians don't tell you. You don't go back to it. You never reread it. It's all for you to just spit it out and then not look at it. It's a form of processing.
No, it is, and I've heard of the journaling method where it's like this is your third brain or your second brain, where it's just something to kind of encapsulate your thoughts.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like rewinding on your thoughts is very telling, especially because I have this one thing where I feel like I have like one input channel and one output channel, and a lot of the output is a lot of bitch shit, and like when I input it back into myself, I'm like, God, you just sound like a little bitch. You feel me?
I don't like that word.
You don't like the word bitch? I call my bitch a bitch.
I prefer the term femoid. Yeah.
The female species still confuses me. I don't think they like being called bitches.
Or hearing about my wet ass.
She really did not like that.
What was I gonna say?
You've brought up your sweaty ass in front of your girl maybe 2 times at this point, and each time it's just the first time you brought it up, she was like, yeah, I'll be drowning in it.
Drowning in it.
Did she say drowning? She said some shit.
Nah, it was something bad. But I think that might have been the other episode that we didn't put out or not gonna put out. So
that's that Patreon episode.
Yeah, you gotta be
$200 plus $10.99 a month after that. You gotta have 2 months down on the membership before you get it. Hey, we about our brother out here.
You know what the last tier should be? Just my wet ass. But
this is what you want. This is what you was working for.
I'm gonna add extensions to my hair though too, so it looks extra muddy and wet. But I double checked. I did not have anything.
I double checked my ass. It was fine. It was dry.
I did get some. Since you didn't hear the solo part, I did. Mm-hmm. I was kind of talking about my media consumption and how I felt like at this point I felt a little stuck on what I was consuming. I felt because I have that big obsession with Star Wars, the Lord of the Rings stuff.
I was watching too much Star Wars lore. You don't get it.
No.
I do too much Boba Fett facts.
After hearing it back, what I realized is that I felt stuck in the sense that I didn't have that. I feel like I don't have that big thing again, or I haven't found another big thing that really like gets all my attention, wants me to go into all the lore, So,
have you seen the SCP Foundation?
Yeah, I know about it. I haven't read any of it personally, but something like that, I got some recommendations about movies and stuff. So I think
Fuck
right
it.
now.
Just watch The Office.
No. No. You know what's crazy? I started The Office with Chloe, and then we then we got to a certain point, and then she started watching Community.
Okay.
And sorry, just making sure because
Goofy loves we have 5 minutes, bro.
No. She started watching Community and all these other shows. Like, wow, shows are great. I'm like, yeah, The Office isn't the only thing that you could watch. And now she's rewatching Community. I don't know if I can't remember if she explicitly told me that she thinks Community is better than The Office, but I'm waiting for that day because I know. Because Community is a good ass show. It's a really good show.
No, it is a good show. I think I went through a similar run through Community as I did fucking The Office. Like I rewatched it like twice.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's really good. But I don't know. It's just
either way. What was I talking about? The fact that and I think right now maybe I'm thinking too narrow and trying to just find a thing, but instead I'm just gonna go for right now. I think fuck it, just like in general, like a horror genre. Just kind of watch new horror movies. Because honestly, I just know a lot of, or have seen a lot of like just slasher, some paranormal, kind of more. What's the term? When it's like mind scary, nuts.
Psychological.
Yeah, psychological.
And shit.
Yeah, I haven't. I feel after a while I haven't really been indulging in that. So I think right now that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just watch stuff and go from there.
I think you should just double down and become like a movie snob. Just start watching like weird, obscure French movies.
I'm fun.
You don't get it. You don't get it, Roberto. She had her tits out in black and white for 14 minutes.
Actually, for a bit, I was kind of like that. I watched Eraserhead with Chloe and some other David Lynch films, like short films, and then what was it? Well, I can't remember. It's gone now. There's some black and white films.
I can't do black and white, bro.
And then
my attention is too fried. The 21st century has just fried me. You know what you're saying?
No, you know what? No, you're not alone. Because Chloe and I started Nosferatu.
You just look at it and you're just like, what? Get that retard off of the screen!
No, not only that. It was there's a word for it. She said it, but I'm too stupid and I forgot. Where whenever they speak, they put up the words and then go back to the movie. You know what I'm talking about?
It'll be like it's like when
you see their mouth move and then they show what they said on screen. Like the screen is the words and then it goes back to the movie.
It's almost like it's like a dialogue version of like the old Batman films where they'd be like fighting and then on the screen it'd be like bam wham that type of shit, but it's actual full on dialogue.
Yeah, it's full on dialogue. So that we like I said, we started it and then there was a certain point where I was getting ready to take her home. She was getting tired and then we paused the movie and it was like a little more than half an hour. We looked at each other like, no, we don't got this. And yeah, it's a little bit of that brain rot kind of attention span shit, which feels bad, but at the same time, I know I'm doing things that are helping me not be completely bad with it.
That's fair, yeah.
But that movie, it for sure feels kind of like that sense of like you're a movie snob if you go back to watch this, because I get it, like I understand the importance of it,
like the cultural significance of it.
Yeah, because that was it came out in 1922, so that was 100 years ago. So we're kind of doing this like looking back 100 years ago kind of feel, and you can get that weight from it. But at the same time, fuck, I did not want to finish it.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I don't know if we are. Probably, but if I don't with her, maybe I'll watch it alone.
By no means, I feel that.
If I watch it alone, I'm for sure drinking every time the words pop up.
Man, every time I gotta read, I'm drinking.
Yeah.
Man, everybody drink every time they see the letter T.
And then I feel involved. I remember we also started with the subtitles on.
Uh-huh.
And it just stayed up consistent, just describing the music in the background. It was like eerie music.
Thematic.
Yeah, no, and then it didn't, because the music kept playing and there were no words anyways. It just stayed there, so it just kept blocking a portion of the screen every time the music changed. But again, it's kind of interesting because watching it, I was thinking about how bad it looks, but at the same time, that was 100 years ago, and right now we have a program that could make something that technically looks better than this.
No, yeah, realistically, because of the exponential growth of fucking technology, the next 100 years, you're just gonna be in the movie. You're
Easily.
Yeah.
That's fuck. What was it? Like the new. What was it? There are versions of the internet that people call, like, there are different stages that people have designated to the internet's progress.
Okay.
And people believe that the next stage, whenever we reach
integration type shit.
Yeah, whenever we reach the next stage is when we can instantly develop media for us specifically. Instead of finding...
That's gonna be that's a scary con. You're just gonna have some fucking fat dude on a couch just straight up.
Yeah, that's usually the dystopian like portrayal of it. But that's what they kind of... I'm pretty sure it's... like centered around what you want.
I hope that you just have like little glasses, but people can still like kind of see like the corner of your glass.
So it's never just for you.
Yeah. So you just chilling, right? You just chilling in public, and it's just like you just... Is that a big booty bitch? Oh, she got nuts on her, just like some crazy shit.
Yeah, you're just sitting in the subway, and the guy next to you is like watching crazy furry war.
You just chilling on the subway. You're just chilling like this. All you hear is on the side of you. You're like, you fart? Are you watching people fart? You sick bastard. Damn.
Oh man, fetishes are gonna go crazy in the
fetishes
future.
are already crazy.
No, but they're gonna since you can have things developed specifically for you, those like those freaks are gonna get even freakier because the reason people get like that sometimes is usually from some kind of porn addiction.
Yeah.
They search for that extra high in their entertainment, and then they find themselves addicted to eating shit. So if you can develop things personally for you over and over and over, and then that gets so numb that what are you gonna end up at? What are you gonna end up eating?
I think straight up, all fetishes at some point, like if you just keep following a fetish down the road, it all just straight up ends in shit, piss, vomit, and cannibalism. It all.
Kids.
Yeah. Dude, I saw some fun. Oh, okay. No. There's this funny guy. This is a comedian. All right. They were like, they're talking about how there's like a lot of the new like pedophiles or like a lot of like pedophilic shit is just like dudes that are really really young. Right? Or like it'll be like you always expect like some creepy they're children.
Yeah, I was gonna say the new pedophiles are kids.
No, but you know how you always expect like some like creepy like 40-year-old dude? Yeah, like it ends up being like young dudes that are like just having like crazy terabytes of porn, right? And then there's like an awkward silence in between it, and they're like, "That's crazy, man. Where do you even find stuff like that?" And it's a joke of like whenever you bring up some fucking crazy shit, it's like let's say you're in a group chat and you just be like, you said like, oh, you like furries, and I'm like, yeah, where do you even find that furry stuff?
Oh, yeah,
it's that
giving you the disgusting, but where?
Yeah, that's fucking gross, bro. How do you even find that stuff?
Yeah. I mean, so I can like stop it,
Yeah, it was that vibe. That shit was so fucking funny, dude.
Where are these kids so I can save them? Yeah, that's fucked up. But
3 terabytes? How does someone even get their hands on that?
3 terabytes for themselves. They're not even sharing.
Nah, dude. Once I found out how much a terabyte was, like
Okay, come on, bro.
no. How much a terabyte was in terms of like you'll hear people being caught with like 14 terabytes of.
No, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's like that's like 4 years continuously nonstop just video.
It's a lot. Yes, a terabyte of anything's a lot. So the fact that you have multiple of terabytes of that, it's
Sickening.
Yeah, it's very sickening, and it's a good thing Jared Fogle got what he deserved.
Have you seen the new like predator catcher guys where they'll just beat some guy up in a ball?
Yeah, I see a lot of that where they're.
Do you watch like the full episodes? Like
no, I just watch people that. All right, my bad, guys. I had to go give my nieces their presents that just came in.
Nah, y'all came back to do that shit, man. Fuck y'all.
I'm gonna leave that in. There's no fighting, guys. Here, I'll hold one. You get the other one.
I ain't want you either, boy. We stuck together.
But what we're saying about they're gonna hear the huffing and puffing. It's fine. They're dogs, guys. You gotta love them. The pedophile catcher
you
people.
just watch clips, right? Is what you're trying to say?
I either watch clips or I watch YouTubers who go over like the people who are doing that. So I haven't seen the actual full videos, but they get pretty like bad. Like they get like have any of them gotten knocked out from the videos you've seen? Do you watch them fully?
No, I don't watch them fully. I was just bringing this up because it'll be like 6 in the morning. I'm taking a shit and I'll just put on my For You page and it'll be like, this guy's here to meet a 13-year-old boy, and they just tackle him to like a shelf of like tomatoes or some shit.
Yeah.
But the latest one that I saw was like this guy's here to meet like a fucking 13-year-old boy or some shit, right?
Yeah.
They chase him down and he's like trying to make his way to the car or whatever. But this time they had cops with them, so like they're evolving. They're bringing police with them now, bruh.
Okay. I think those are the really good ones. They're trying to eat a pen. Those are the really good ones because, yes, I want them to get some kind of justice of just getting fucking beat up. But at the same time, I also want them to go to jail too.
No, yeah, they're like full on bringing police now. It's really great.
That is the best version of that. I'd much rather have less punching, more in jail versus just punching, no jail.
No, I agree. There's you definitely have to pay.
Especially since you're recording, it's not like you're gonna be able to kill them. Like
that is true. There was that one guy who would break into pedophiles' houses with hammers. That guy in Alaska. He's out now, I think. I'm pretty sure he's out now.
Good.
Yeah, I don't think he's beating pedophiles with hammers anymore. But I think he's like a TikTok or some shit now.
Yeah, just talks about his stories about beating them.
One time I hit his ass. I hit his ass with a hammer like that. I ain't gonna get back up. Nah, but
I would have done it again.
I got no regrets. Fuck. Damn, it's kind of hard to build off of beating up pedophiles.
Well, never mind. That's gonna be a bad segue. Either way, some people. I've heard that some people feel bad for them because they like they're just getting like harassed. But at the same, like...
Wait, what do you mean, like...
Like, that's not the right way to do it.
Man, it don't matter what the right way to do it is, in my opinion. You there to beat a 13-year-old.
Yeah, like, some people would rather no beating, just like, send them to jail or stuff like that,
I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, ultimately, I think if you get beat up at a Walmart, it's better than not getting beat up in a Walmart. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's part of what you deserve.
Yeah.
For sure.
I have a strong stance. They should be beat up in a Walmart and then taken to jail.
I'm going to say something controversial. I don't like pedophiles.
Guys.
You know what? I despise them even.
And I'm going to build off of that.
I'm going to go so far that I would gun them in cold blood.
Man, if we're talking about things we don't like, I don't like pedophiles. I don't like criminals. I don't like periods.
I don't like drunk drivers.
Shit, I don't like...
I don't like losing money.
Brown people.
I don't like really brown people.
Shit. Shit, that's a good episode of Bobby.
I despise that. That is not a. You know what? I think we've said more than enough.
I think we covered all our bases, guys.
I've spoken my mind at this point. You know, I've really given it my all.
Personally, I've said everything I had to say. I'm done.
That's all on my mind. That's the only thing on my mind at all times about how much I hate periods, pedophiles, brown people.
For real, bro.
But imagine a pedophile brown person who's on their period.
Shit. I'll kill him.
Oh wait, but that means they're a woman, and I don't hate women. Oh no,
Women.
Femoids.
Femoids, come on. You know I love women's. Come on now. I could never do that to a woman's.
There's got to be something in the news that I saw that I wanted to talk about that it's you know what? I'm blinded by rage. I can't think straight.
I saw some guy. I follow this one Instagram page that's apparently I don't even know, but it's like a military page or whatever, and it'll just show like random conflicts around the world or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think it was like the Indian Armed Forces takes out Taliban or some shit. And it was just some guy straight up just hunting. Like, you ever seen those videos of people like shooting coyotes with those thermal scopes?
Yeah.
He just did that to like a group of like 5 dudes, but it was just all 4K thermal. Instagram didn't blur any of it. I was just like, huh?
What's thermal? I'm just seeing heat signatures, not people.
Nah, it was like, I guess the military technology on thermals is a lot better than like the civilian sector, because it was
everything in the military.
Yeah. Well, that's the obvious part behind it, but it was basically this guy's face blowing up on a thermal camera.
Yeah,
you can see it was fucked up, man. Guy tried to dive for cover. There was no cover. He just dove onto the side of a hill and got gunned down on his side.
Yeah,
those are.
That's especially worse. The fact that you can't see a thing, but they see everything.
Yeah, like the guy. So like it was like the. I don't know if I don't know how the fuck he recorded.
That's like the closestness to knowing someone's omnipotent. Because you are like completely blind, dude, but they are not at all.
And it was like so the guy so like to build on that point, it was like the guy was somehow recording through his scope. You fucking bastard. The guy was recording through his scope, right? And then he backed out of his scope so you could see how dark it was. It was just pitch black outside. That guy just it was ridiculous.
It's definitely something. Just to show you, this is more for us guys. You know, fuck y'all.
Pretty solid.
Anyway, the military sector, like you said, honestly, for everything, is just a completely different standard. My professor on multiple occasions has just constantly told me about how, guys, if you think we're breaching new grounds right now with all this stuff coming out with nanotubes, all this like super crazy superconductor whatever stuff, it is not the same in the military sector. They have a completely different standard. He reminds us like almost every other lecture about how it's very different. And this is someone who works on who's worked for NASA and done stuff, you know, like he knows.
He's at the other table. He's like, you guys don't fucking get it.
It looks like that. He's like on the edge of his seat, like leaning over the table and is like, guys, there's a world out there you don't know of.
He's been on the other side of the table where a general has a gun on the table. He's like, what can you offer this project?
Yeah, no, easily, because he's more into biomedical stuff, but
that man sees
look,
things
I want to tell you his research and stuff, but maybe when we stop recording, because he definitely said, look guys, this is This is what I've been working on.
Guys, I can't tell you this, but
No. He can tell us this, but he doesn't want it to be like.
He doesn't want to blow the lid on some shit. I feel like.
Yeah, and it's really impressive stuff. So I want to be very respectful of that because I know he puts a lot of work into it. Like he puts so much fucking work into it that he doesn't show up to class sometimes. So I get it. You know, he's really into it.
You guys think you're my priority?
No, he does not need to say that. Like we know it's not.
He's showing up like a drunk husband he's like, you don't know what I had to deal with.
Well, the thing is that the world is changing so much that this so you know how like classes have like numbers to them, like 101, 100
okay.
or whatever. I'm in like a 400 level class.
Okay.
So like it's up there, you know, which makes sense. I'm about to graduate and all that. So it's getting knocked down to a 300 level class. I can't remember if he said it was mandatory or not, but that's the thing. This like high level class is now something that you need to know
to build off of.
Yeah, which is crazy because I haven't been there that long, you know.
No, and it's already shifting. It's like it's taken institutes like a billion years to move into one new sector, and now you're literally it's actively changing while you're in it.
Yeah, which is crazy, but also really really cool. I like it a lot. He got me into wanting to read more on like what is it on Google? Like the Google Scholar, you know, you can look up research articles and stuff. I started reading one when I was at the doctor's, and bro, there's so many times where I had to go back and be like, I didn't
grasp that.
I'm not gonna lie to myself. I don't know what the fuck that meant. So I went back and have to read it like 3 times to barely understand what they're talking about. I was reading up on nanotubes and how they make them and all that, which is like it is so fucking cool. It's so basically the reason why there's lag and latency and things in electronics is because we can't control electrons as well as maybe you might think we do. We can push them in a direction, but we can't make them go straight. Electrons move at the speed of light, but in our wires and stuff, since they're so small compared to what we're pushing them through, they bounce a lot.
Okay.
They're moving at the speed of light, but they're bouncing and hitting walls. They're not going just straight. Yeah. They're bouncing off walls. They're hitting each other. They're doing a bunch of shit as they travel, but it's at the speed of light.
Okay.
So, you know, there's a loss there.
So you're like picking up static essentially.
Yeah.
On the back end of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's always never going to be like an instantaneous thing. But with nanotubes, the great thing is that they developed something that is basically a sheet that is an atom wide, an atom big.
So it basically it's like the same thing as like a bullet train when it's running on magnets, where it just kind of glides through the thing instead of bouncing off of shit.
No, not only is it an atom wide, they roll it. So now it's the circumference or like the hole it's going through is an atom wide. But the crazy thing is, since electrons are smaller than that, they're still bouncing. like
so just getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, no, it's significantly faster, but that's still crazy that we go through these great lengths to develop something, and the natural force of what we're trying to contain is so great that they're still fucking bouncing in the nanotube. It's a lot better, and there's other things we can do to minimize it.
What are these nanotubes made out of? If you know?
I don't really remember the specifics. It wasn't. I think it might have been graphene.
Graphene, some shit.
I don't think it was graphite.
Because isn't graphene the thing you're talking about? Isn't it one of the thinnest materials on demand or whatever?
Yeah, that's why they're able to develop. That's why they're able to develop with it.
I saw a Vsauce episode on graphene fucking 4 years ago.
Yeah, rolled up graphene sheets. Graphene. Yeah, and it says here, since I'm now Jamie, that is a single layer of carbon atoms, with diameters typically measured in nanometers, length measuring several microns.
Jesus Christ.
But maybe it's not a single atom, but either way, it's really small. It makes them travel a lot better because they're bouncing less, or like bouncing at lower heights, whatever you want to say. But and I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of military and these industries are using, because we know about it now, so they for sure knew about it before.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because everything's kind of just like a back end. We're kind of getting like the scraps of the.
Yeah,
Military
there's that
force.
saying where if they're showing us now, that means they knew 6 years before.
That is true. Yeah.
Which is fair. I don't know if it's exactly 6, if it's more or less, but either way, there's always a point to that, because, again, a lot of what the military wants to do, they have hands in their life constantly, so of course they're gonna need the best of the best. They're gonna need. That's why it's so fucking expensive. That's why they can get trillions and trillions, and then it still might not be enough. Either way, that is a crazy technology that I think about a lot, especially after reading the article, because it's a good way to visualize what the future can be.
I agree.
If these things become more
the sheer potential.
The sheer potential of it. The same way some people look at AI and they're like, oh, there's these great big things that they can do, and of course they can, but at the same time, there's a back end of people who are gonna be really effective. I didn't look into other things about graphene, but I'm sure it takes a lot of energy to produce. It takes a lot of time to develop. Mm-hmm. It's something very specialized. If it's not that bad, that's good, but at the same time, it's more precise. More precise tools are going to be harder to make, are going to be more expensive, of course, especially if we're just getting to it.
100%. That makes sense, yeah. Fuck crazy shit, dude.
What do you think about the nanotubes?
I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on nanotubes specifically, just because it's not my area of expertise. But yeah, I think I don't know. I think that the longer that we keep building like a separation between what we have access to and what the general public has access to,
mm-hmm.
I think that at some point it's just going to create like a it's going to become such a wide margin of availability to dispositionability
mm-hmm.
that it's just like it's almost going to create like a new species of human, if that makes sense. Like what I was thinking about earlier, we were talking about the new level of internet where it's going to be like the media that you want to consume is automatically
developed for you.
Yeah, I think that it's going to end up leading into like God, how do I explain it?
Like what? Dystopia?
Yeah, not even dystopia. It's just like
a different level of person.
Yeah, it's like on one hand you're gonna have literally like the picture perfect what the Matrix described, and then sheer poverty on the back end of it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
okay.
In the same like instant of moment, you're gonna have like straight up what is that one Jack Russell Terrier that used to read books? The one with the white dot with like the little brown dot on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Wishbone.
Wishbone. You remember how in Wishbone they had that like that time traveling machine where they split into two different subspecies of human. And one was like gutter people, and the other one was like regular like people living in utopia.
And you got a random dog telling the story.
Yeah, you got the random dog telling the story.
Well, that's why most dystopian settings usually incorporate or show that extreme poverty, because of course if people are making trillions of dollars in their new corporation, there's someone who has to do all the labor for it, and they're not going to care about them because they're living up there and they're living down there. Like
I guess it's just different when you
like cyberpunk, Borderlands. They have this futuristic, like great settings. But there's always there's always that bad side of like the psychos, the slums.
I guess the difference that I'm trying to imply is I think that just sheerly off of our current trajectory, I think people are less trying to build on their current existence in the term of like cyberpunk, where they're just like adding on shit to their bodies, and people are straight up just avoiding reality. Like they're just going deeper and deeper into this like weird matrix state. right?
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna straight up have slug people, and like just this weird like like stricken like wasteland.
Hmm? Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like it's just like I don't know. It's crazy stuff, man. You heard that new Roswell theory where there weren't aliens; they were just disfigured human beings that they surgically altered.
No, I did not hear that at all.
So basically,
I thought the Roswell pictures were fake, except for the crash site.
I don't know. I don't know about the pictures, but there's like apparent confirmation on the fact that there were small bodies, right?
Yeah.
But they're like yeah, they weren't actually small bodies, big dog. They were so apparently Russia had this weird other. They had a fake crash landing of a UFO where they just mutilated like small like disabled children.
And just threw them at America.
And just threw them in like this in this futuristic craft pit, and we're like, hey guys, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So we spun back and we're like, we found one of those too.
Oh, okay.
We're like, we in the space race too in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And,
to keep up with appearances, like, oh no, we got the little men too.
Yeah, and apparently it was like they just surgically altered disabled children into making them look like little aliens.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah.
You know, they're out here watching Nosferatu and thinking it's cinema. You know, they're all fucked up, man.
Yeah, I saw that off of it was this lady who wrote this book on the Afghan War and then wrote this another book on what was it? I think it was the Cold War,
Yeah.
and then had another book specifically about Roswell. And she got an interview with this general, and then that general was like, yeah, we did that shit to small disabled children, and the other reason he admitted to it was because he had a grandchild with like Down syndrome, and he felt really bad.
Yeah,
after
I was
the fact.
eating up at him.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have fucking done it. This guy's pretty chill.
Yeah. Damn, these
God,
guys ain't that bad.
Matter of fact, let me pull a Jamie moment just so I don't look extra crazy, because this is
No, it's fine. I mean, with the Roswell thing, I don't know too much about that. It was always from like books or like things that I saw when I was younger, and whenever it was more about how pictures, I think, of the crash site.
This is on NBC News.
So it's for sure confirmed. Just
Why is it on NBC?
because it's true.
Oh my god.
But again, like I don't remember about the bodies thing. I just remember about how the pictures people took of the military vehicle taking something away was real and stuff like that. Just like that, but that's all I really knew about Roswell. And that's why I gave it some level of importance, because, you know, there's something real about it.
Read this right here.
Okay, can I read?
Yeah, read it out loud. You can read it out loud.
Oh, man. Child-sized aviators were aboard the disc. Humans, seemingly about 13 years old, who may have been surgically or biologically altered to give them enlarged heads and eyes. Jacobson quotes her source as saying he was told that the alien lookalikes were the results of experiments conducted by Nazi mad scientist Joseph Mengele. The bodies were recovered from the wreckage, and 2 of them were alive but comatose. That's even worse. But that's the thing, like, that's the extents they're willing to go to save face, you know, in quotes, you know, to like you said, to show that, hey, we're up there too.
Yeah, we cool too, guys.
Yeah.
We got them too.
And that's so fucked. Like,
I've been sitting on that piece of information for a minute now. That was just been fucking
There's
doing.
a wonderful quote. I don't know if it's from Wendigoon himself exactly, or he got it from somewhere else, but if you think the government might, they probably did.
Yeah.
and because they have done crazy stuff. You know, the CIA, the FBI, they've done very, very crazy bad things just to investigate, save face, whatever it is. They've done bad things. You know.
Yes.
That's why I don't want to be all conspiracy theorist all of a sudden, but the thing is,
Hey, CIA, we got a homeboy about 25, but saying
no.
little, you feel me, bro? I think he's a perfect candidate. I think, bro. I think he can do some pretty cool stuff. Let me know if you need the end, brother.
What I was gonna say is that humans are really good at lying. We're all very good at doing our best to display something fake.
I agree.
So it's more than understandable that a whole body of them who want to be funded and want to stay with jobs are willing to go through a lot.
I'm not gonna lie. If you really just lay it down on paper, like, did aliens crash land on Earth, or did the U.S. government surgically alter little retarded boys and girls to make them look like aliens in this craft?
I'm putting on the U.S.
Yeah.
Because that's a really big argument in the aliens thing, that how are they so advanced but they're fucking crashing on Earth? Yeah, they got light speed, but they fucked it up at the end, so they hit the Earth.
Retarded girls and boys in fucking drones, just like, oh shit, we miscalculated the fuel, guys. Fuck, guys, it's looking like it's gonna be New Mexico, dude.
Yeah, it's. Guys, it's not water, so just brace for landing.
Guys,
and they hit
report
fucking...
show it's gonna be sand, guys. There's gonna be a craft to pick up.
but either way, yeah, that's why I'm more than fine with never dismissing something unless it's something I know about, because then of course you know about it, like the whole like 5G, stuff like that.
What do you mean? My nuts still hurt from the 5G. I haven't had kids to this day because of that fucking 5G.
Nah,
I put my balls on a 5G tower every night in Daytona. I ain't had kids yet.
Yeah, you're putting it on the tower. I wonder where
the strange... Y'all said it was safe.
The waves are, not the tower.
Ugh.
You dragging your balls across metal and you think you're gonna be fine. But either way, that shit. You got any conspiracy theories that you're just like, damn, it's probably real? I won't put it past it not being real. One that's a little more stranger, where, because I feel like there are conspiracy theorists who are all in because maybe they've consumed so much, and there's others where you've heard it and you're I get it.
I won't lie. A little part of me, just a tiny little part of me, fully believes that Hillary Clinton straight up just cut the face off of a child and wore it.
Oh yeah.
Just fully believes it.
People in power.
The whole adrenochrome thing, I fully believe that there's just a straight up, like, it's one thing to just fuck the kids, you feel me? That is one sick, fucked up, twisted thing. But
the whole Jeffrey Epstein Island thing,
that is his own standalone thing. Yeah. I think that there is a whole backside of it where it's straight up just
way worse.
Yeah, what's that one guy in like the 50s that the one guy that communicated with aliens, but it was very much just a demon. Something Crowley.
Stephen? No, that's Stephen Crowley.
Alan Crowley? No. Fuck. Anyways, Crowley something. Apparently he was like, I can commune with extra dimensional beings, right?
Yeah.
And it was very clearly just, it was like Bible verse for Bible. This is just a demon, brother.
Yeah.
But you're just chanting a demon into this world. But I fully believe that there is just a back end of shit where it is sheerly done purely towards the focus on evil. Like, what is it called? The idea where if enough of you thinking something can manifest something into being.
Yeah, it's just
it's a thing though. It's technically an entity. Anyways, I fully believe that enough people believe in surely the concept of evil, where at this point it is a maleficent force in the world. You know what I mean? Just like...
Oh, okay. That the thought alone, if enough people give it power.
Yes, there's a name for this.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I don't fucking know the name either.
Yeah, whatever it is, but I fully believe that like people are definitely drinking like kid blood and shit and like eating kids for sure. Like,
look, there's a guy online constantly posting about how he does these weird experiments. He swaps blood with his kid and stuff. So if that's public, then yeah, I more than what I was gonna say before. I know you said that the Epstein Island is its own thing, but the fact that we have that as solid proof that these high power individuals are
egregore,
yeah.
I'm sorry, continue.
That these high power figures are not only willing but want to do heinous things and have a whole like island away from the world from us to do it makes more than enough sense that these other horrific things can easily happen.
Yeah, I think the thing that really solidified it for me, like as crazy as it is, was the Alan, not the Alan, who's the gay frog guy?
Gay frog guy?
Yeah.
Kermit?
No, the guy who's like, they're putting chemicals in the frog, they're turning the...
Oh, gay frog. No, the one who said Sandy Hook was a lie.
Yes, that fucking guy. That fucking idiot. Oh my God. Sam Smith. No, it's not fucking Sam Smith. God, what is this fucking...
Alex Jones.
I
wanted to look it up because I knew.
The Alex Jones guy, when he did that documentary on what is it called, the California retreat thing that's all surrounding Moloch, the owl god.
Yeah, it's a club between the elites.
Yes, that club. I think once I saw that fully solidified the fact that these higher power people fully have encapsulated the esoteric side of stuff.
Yeah.
And once I accepted that, I think I started fully believing in, like, yeah, these people are doing things sheerly off of the egregore that is evilness at this point. I think that so many people have done evil things sheerly out of depravity.
The Bohemian Club?
Yes, the Bohemian Club.
Yeah.
They worship.
I've heard of that too.
Yeah, they worship an owl god that is supposed to be about money and power, but
they chose the owl because it's like, it's a symbol of wisdom, all that.
But ultimately, I think that they have encapsulated so much evil action that their evil action has, as a result, transformed into an egregore that is now leading in a facility of evilness. And so I guess my biggest conspiracy is that there is like this larger kind of eminent force that is just kind of bleeding evil into the world, regardless of it being intentional thought or kind of just subliminal thought. People are just doing sick, fucked up shit for the sake of doing sick, fucked up shit.
Yeah, I can see that too, especially this idea of some subliminal force is so prolific in so many different ways, cultures, religions, that I believe in it because even if it's not spiritual, there's definitely something psychological there. This idea that some abhorrent manifestation can grow within one person and then spread to someone else if you're close enough with them. If there's this person that you really trust, you really believe in, and then you start kind of like sprinkling bad things into their life and then slowly make it worse and worse and worse, they're going to have to develop some kind of way to either justify, to adapt to these bad things,
Yeah,
and make it fine. And make it fine because your good friend does it, you do it. So, yeah. So you're going to have to find a way to justify it.
This is Lamb.
And
this is the guy that apparently he could manifest on command. Like, he could make this guy appear to people on command. Like, this is my boy Lamb. Lam.
Yeah, Lamb.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. But I was just saying that even if there isn't some kind of spiritual force, there can easily be a psychological thing going on where evil spreads and creates more evil.
Almost like a disease type shit.
Especially within the elite or within people of power, with people with money, because they have more of an impact on others.
Yeah.
If there's someone higher than you that you spend time with,
it's the idea of ego, I think.
Yeah, it's letting your ego be run by something bad because you look up to someone, because whatever, you know. Not only that, but sometimes you just may have a bad thought, and if enough other people have, it's also the idea of groupthink, where if enough people in the group think this thing, whether it's low, high, it's gonna lead to something bad because you let yourself get into the headspace.
My favorite thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
You get to a headspace and you allow it to happen.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing about egregore specifically is that you can kind of like almost prove that egregores are real.
Yeah.
Because for example, if I'm tripping super fat off of a certain psychedelic, let's say I'm doing mushrooms, right, with somebody, right? Sometimes you'll be tripping and you'll be like, do you see that? And they'll see that shit too. And you'll be like, oh, they're also tripping, so they probably see some crazy funky shit. You'll be like, what do you see? And they'll bar for bar describe exactly what you're seeing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that almost proves the fact that two minds can interlink into one thing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if two minds can interlink, or two consciousness can interlink onto that one thing, they double validate that existence of that one thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, if I see some dude in the corner, right, and you don't see him, then I'm just a crazy dude. But if we both see him, that brings more validity to that dude in the corner.
Yeah.
So imagine if you got 6 motherfuckers in a room and you go, that's my boy Lamb, and all 6 of them see him, doggy. He's a little bit real at that point.
Yeah, I get it. And again, it can, even if people, I'm just bringing this up so then whoever who might be skeptic can also understand, you know, multiple psychological phenomenon can happen at once. The idea of groupthink, mass hysteria. You know, even if people want to debunk it as in, that's not real because it's based on some kind of spirituality, it's based on something, there are other psychological things that can happen for that to be real.
And building off of that stuff,
yeah.
I think that just because something doesn't necessarily have power in the physical realm, that doesn't necessarily take away from its validity of existence. Because, if let's say I got 6 motherfuckers and I go, yeah, my boy over there that doesn't exist fucking hates that dude, we should beat his ass, you feel me?
Yeah.
And I can somehow manifest y'all into believing my non-existent boy's opinion, and you still get your ass beat over my non-existent boy's opinion, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm truly believing in my non-existent boy, right, and it's not really a thought that I truly have incorporated into myself, right, that means that thought was fed off of 6 different people and manifested outside of the consciousness of specifically those people and then beat your ass. Which then, I think, triple validates the existence of my non-existent boy.
Yeah.
Because, now my non-existent boy is now getting your ass beat in the physical realm. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the reason that validates me, that validates the crazy fucking Aleister Crowley theory, is because apparently Lamb was feeding him crazy technology, right? He was feeding him alien technology, and then it just turned into human technology. It was just oh, we got a phone now. Or not specifically a phone, but it was just weird microscopic shit that a human being really shouldn't have just developed.
Yeah.
That he was yeah, my boy over there fed it to me, and it's if it works in this realm, right, and you didn't really come up with it because you're not the type of motherfucker to come up with it, then your boy may be a little bit real.
Yeah,
When-
there's some type of truth.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I think the egregore thing is so crazy to me.
Yeah, that's one thing that with these extra things, I always keep an open mind to, only for the fact that there aren't 100% ways to disprove it. You know, with other conspiracy theories like flat Earth or whatever, like simple thing, they have these like big structures set up to prove it versus a monolith of things to disprove it. You know, for me, I think it always comes down to this idea that if you have all these extra things to disprove, if you have a disproportionate amount of things to disprove what you believe, then yeah, there's probably not something there. Versus things like that where there are, even if it's small, it's still a case that you can look into and develop something from it. You know, it's something that gives you a certain kind of idea to build off of.
Mhm.
You know, whether or not you're gonna go out and try to disprove it, is different, but it's still there for you to look into. It's there for you to develop an idea, some kind of opinion on. But in at the end of the day, opinions versus some like, you know, versus an actual grand amount of proof against it is different.
No, 100%,
You know,
yeah.
that's why I like keeping an open mind. I like knowing that there's these extra things out there. Like you said, you know, there might be something there because, well, taking into account biases, like
You know, I get
my bias of thinking there's something extra in this world that isn't maybe here with us, you know, the ghost stuff.
Mhm.
But in the end, that's because there's something extra in my life. But I also don't have a monolith of proof to disprove what you think.
That is true.
So either way, I'm still going to have that open mind, you know. That's why I like creators who willingly put themselves in situations that could show them proof, because maybe if there is a bunch of proof to it versus there's more proof versus disproof, but they don't have that final I've seen it happen, are going out there and letting themselves try to experience that thing, I think it's really good because they're still keeping an open mind.
I feel it, yeah.
I think the worst thing to ever have for yourself is a closed-minded idea of what the world is. I have very strong beliefs, ethics, and maybe like political ideals.
Mhm.
But in the end, if something makes sense and there's plenty of proof to show that it works, then I'm more than fine with changing who I am. You know, I'm gonna be honest. There was a big time in my life where I was going through that like Republican, the alt-right, super, you know,
You got
anti-feminist.
right wing, bro. You got right wing, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I had a moment where I was going through that, and then I saw flaws.
Uh-huh.
I started looking at the other side. I
Gotta
kept in
go.
touch and went back and forth, and in the end, what I found was more important to me, I sided with, and that's and you know, I always keep an open mind. I go back, I watch videos, I do my best to look at both sides. Again, do my best because in the end, I have these harder set values through more life experience. It's gonna change who you are, but in the end, I never want to let go of the exercise because it just feels like I would lose a part of who I am if I let one side of ideals consume who I am.
I think another way to think about that is just be a lifelong learner.
Exactly. Stay curious.
Yeah, like I think genuinely, like if for some reason you have like this weird like spike in in just, I guess, like a conceptualization of just being like, I have to keep an open mind, whatever. I guess you don't really have to keep an open mind if you don't want to think about it that way, but as long as you stay willing to learn day by day, experience by experience, that singular kind of thought process leads you to becoming a more encapsulated and less biased person, or I guess a more grandiose person. Yeah. It's just like really that's what it is. It's curiosity, dude. It's just like at a certain point, people become so stuck in their ways that they're just unwilling to even conceptualize a different reality to the one that they think of as ideal.
Yeah, even when you see like these in quotes absurd takes, you have to remember that this is a person. This is a person who somehow ended up here, whether it's through life experience, whether it was through mass media consumption. They ended up here for a reason. So I'm not gonna, I'll poke fun. I may laugh at them, but in the end of the day, I will never think of them less than who I am, because they could have easily had one moment to switch. They could have easily had time to develop new ideas. There are things that are harder to change in people when they get older and all that. But in the end, the idea of change, I always keep very close to heart, because there are many instances in my life where I've seen strong, maybe I would use the word abhorrent actions change so much that I'm willing to give that faith into anyone else, even if they're a stranger.
It's a good take. I think that same take is the reason why I believe in the whole "you are me and I am you" thing.
Yeah.
I think that it is so easy for me to picture myself in one single different scenario, and it would genuinely change the entire trajectory of my entire life.
Yeah, that's why I like it so much, and especially in that episode, I did my best to understand and really want to listen out, like, hear out what you had to say, because it's very similar to what I think.
Oh, it was the
not yet. Okay. and in the end, it's a pretty long episode, so it in my mind, keep an open mind, have your fun, but in the end, never ever let yourself completely be consumed by one side.
I got a quote for the episode today. This is one of my new favorite quotes. I'm gonna read it. It's an Instagram quote, so it's a little fucking what is it called? Sarcastic, but I'll eliminate the sarcastic aspects of it.
Yeah.
I will worship something mortal and act surprised when it decays. And I think that is a beautiful quote.
That is a good one. And you know what? To end off the episode, go pet a dog.
Hey!